My husband's browser history shattered my heart. TOMC Jan 11/22.
Originally posted by u/just-throw-a-tie-away-82 and r/true off my chest on December 22, 22. Updated Jan 11/23. Original. My husband's browser history shattered my heart. I will try to make this as short as possible. It's a lot to unpack. But there is some backstory that's important. We've been married for 9 years and have 2 little kids.
Our relationship has had its ups and downs throughout the years, but nothing terrible or that we couldn't pull through, mostly pure exhaustion from hard pregnancies, disconnection and lack of sex because of said difficult pregnancies, and a super difficult infant who didn't sleep for 2 years, bankruptcy, a job he hated. Yay, it's been a little tough. But we're each other's person, you know? Like, I love this man to the ends of the earth. So when I tell you what I saw on his browser history not only shattered my heart, but I could literally feel parts of my soul dying. So here we go. About a year ago my husband and I had a huge heart-to-heart talk about reconnecting and wanting to get back to a new normal after kids. So we started really making us a priority, rebuilding our relationship and sharing our most intimate feelings. My husband opened up to me about his desire to give a man oral. That he isn't attracted to men, but he is attracted to male genitals.
Now, I have no problem with this. In fact, I felt this overwhelming sense of attraction to him in that moment. I loved how vulnerable and honest he felt like he could be with me. It was special. So we talked more and more about what that situation would look like, etc. We both agreed on our boundaries, and our number one rule, no matter what, is to always do anything sexual together. So we found a safe avenue to meet like-minded couples. We had one experience and it was great, but was uncontrollably cut short. So we've opened our minds to the possibility of trying to find a male friend. In the meantime, husband gets a new job and is starting to travel. Fast forward 3 months after our last and only experience, and husband gets the news that he will be traveling to Europe for 10 days.
The weeks leading up to this trip he was so distracted with what I thought was travel plans. Bookings. Ordering things he needed for his trip. I give him grace because he's never been to Europe and I know he's excited. Fast forward to the night before he leaves. We're laying in bed, cuddling, about to love on each other, and out of the blue he asks me, if I met a man in Europe, would you be okay with me doing stuff with him? My heart sank to my stomach. My throat closed up and all I could squeak out was no. I could tell that he was disappointed in my response, and he said, I don't want you to worry. I just needed to ask. And now I know. I couldn't talk. I just cried myself to sleep. He woke up before me that morning and sent a long apologizing text to me to read when I woke up, telling me not to worry. I said no, and that is that. I just found this whole situation so odd and so random. Like what? And then he asks me the night before he leaves? So I tell him that I'm super uncomfortable and I am worried because he's leaving for 10 days and we can't unpack this together the way we need to. He literally leaves like 2 hours later. Every single internal alarm is going off. Red flags are waving in the wind, and I looked at his browser history and it broke my spirit. According to his history, 2 days after he found out he would be traveling, he created a sex dating profile for this particular area. Then he deleted his profile the morning after he asked me the question. Then reactivated the account the moment he got to the airport. His profile read, seeking couples or a single male to show him around. Have a few drinks and if things go well, maybe some guy-on-guy playtime. Heart shattered. Then I see that he has spent hours researching happy ending massages, sex clubs, BDSM clubs, glory holes, and escorts. All female escorts. He researched pricing and location proximity to his hotel room. As far as I'm able to tell, nothing happened with anyone from the sex site, but it wasn't because of his lack of effort. He was trying real hard. But I have very little confidence in saying I doubt something happened. Whether it was a strip club, which he can go but it has to be with me. one of our rules, or a sex club or a happy ending massage. I've looked at our finances, and if anything did happen, he paid cash or has a card I don't know about. So, I'm just here, staring at our little kids, heartbroken and hiding it from the world. I don't want our marriage to end, but I feel like this is going to be a very painful process, and I just want to be the best mom to our kids, and doing that while mending a broken heart is just the hardest thing I've tried to do. I don't know how to tell him I know. I also know, now, that he researches these things everywhere he travels and is most likely visiting a strip club twice a month when he's gone. I'll never understand hurting someone you love, even if you think they won't find out. Sigh.
Update. About 2 days after my post, I had a dream I had a heart attack because of all of this stress, and I decided that enough was enough. I hugged him that morning and told him that we needed to talk about something tonight after the kids were in bed. So he had to think about it all day, and I had more time to prepare my words. Around 8 p.m. when the house was silent, I asked if he had anything he wanted to tell me, and that this was his one and only chance to come clean to me about anything he had done that would hurt me. He confessed to going to a strip club in the town he has to travel to often, not Europe. I just looked at him and said, "Keep going." He kind of stumbled with words and looked confused and slightly panicked, so I said, "Here, let me just hand you my phone."
I handed him my phone, and on the screen I had pulled up my Reddit post. I said, "It's probably better for you to read it because I don't know if I can get the words out properly." He read everything, and some of the comments he immediately apologized for everything. He said he visited one strip club and one sex club while in Europe. He said he walked in, got grossed out, and walked out of the sex club, but stayed at the strip club for a few drinks. I just let him talk, and I cried and cried, hoping I could get it all out so I would be able to utter the words, "I don't believe you." Quote, "Those words came out of my mouth at a volume and intensity I don't know that I've ever felt before. I don't believe you came barreling through the tears, and then the anger hit. For the first time in our relationship. I don't believe you." That sentence took both of our breaths away. I could see the feeling of failure and remorse on his face. I asked why, like I need an effing answer as to why you felt the need or desire to do this. Even though I do believe he didn't actually physically do anything with anyone. He reassured me 100 times. Am I dumb for believing that? Maybe. But my gut has been pretty spot on. So I'm following it on this. He told me, just like a lot of you have said, that the app, the research of escorts, was just another, more real feeling, porn, that he absolutely could have done things with people there, but never ever had a plan to go through with anything. Because I said no to his request about hooking up with someone in Europe if he met the right person. He said he just looked and masturbated to the thought of knowing he basically could buy a good time anytime he wanted with these people. And it's legal. I wanted to punch him. I didn't. As I balled my fists, I screamed, "Grow up. You are a husband, a father, a son, a brother. You have a life so many people can't even dream about. You have a wife right in front of you, willing to go above and beyond for this relationship and your sexual curiosities, and what do? Focus all of your time and energy on strangers on the internet. Shatter my trust for you. Blasted through a boundary that was set about solo visits to strip clubs. Because you felt like that was the lesser of the evils, and you've put so much time and effort into this research. You might as well reward yourself for not hooking up with escorts in Europe." He really didn't have much to say as I paused for a breath. Other than, "You're right. I've been awful, and I don't know what to say to make you believe that I wouldn't harm our family. I wouldn't harm your health by being with any of those people I researched. I hope you know I know how lucky I am. And I don't know why I can't control myself." I told him that I absolutely believe that he has a porn addiction that has now turned extremely dangerous for us as couple and family. He agreed. Without defense, he agreed to everything I said. We are going to start counseling together and singularly. There is so much more to say. But I'm tired. This has been so taxing and I'm just getting through it. I know I'm going to get so much hell for staying with him. I've made it perfectly clear that this is it. My words to him were, if he messes up, the kids and I are out. I told him that I had to sit down and imagine a completely new life with the kids. I've had to endure that heartache of imagining our lives moving on without him. I've already calloused my heart to the thought, which should scare the hell out of you. But also know this. I will not go down silently. This is your chance to be a better man. Right here, right now. He has been amazing to us since then. He has owned up to his word and kept his promises. So far, he has been communicating with me about so many things. He has decreased his porn habits by probably 90%. He's dating me again and playing with the kids more. I feel like I'm seeing the person I married again. But I'm also so scared that when this honeymoon phase ends, what's next? People, just don't hurt your person. Make life beautiful and just love them with all you've got. He's been amazing since then. Check back in a month. He won't be able to maintain it.
Trickle truth incoming.
It was only 3 weeks between updates. Of course he's acting all lovey-dovey and the man that she married once again. He's backtracking hard and potentially love-bombing hard so that when he tries to cheat again, the oop will simply forgive him again. Maybe I'm jaded, but I think her husband is just going to get more and more sneaky. I wouldn't harm our family, he says, immediately after harming the family. Poor thing. This won't end well. She started out so strong and it just fizzled into, he's only getting one more chance to betray me. And possibly give me an STD. If there were any takers. This guy absolutely would have cheated. Pretty sure he got Grindr on his phone and at some point will transition to having his own art room. At some guy's house. I feel like you should add this comment from Op to the post. Update 1. First, I would like to thank you all for the abundance of support I have received. I, never in a million years, would have guessed so many people would respond. Second, I am so mad at myself. I am so embarrassed. I am so stressed out. So that added to everything else is just enough to almost break me. You guys. He's been home for a month and I've been silently struggling. He was traveling again the past 2 nights and I finally broke down and posted on Reddit because I don't feel like I have anyone who I can go to with this. I am in denial. Big time. I told myself since I didn't have any solid proof that he didn't physically do anything that I could pretend it didn't happen. We've been intimate. Just saying that makes the blood drain from my face. My hand on my heart. I haven't had to think of STDs in 12 years. Said it never crossed my mind. I am just disgusted with myself for letting this happen and now I have to try to plan a visit to a doctor in the busiest season of the year. I don't blame myself for what he did. But I'm blaming myself for being scared and not standing up for myself. My kids deserve so much better. So it's time for a plan of action. You all have forced me to see things I was ignoring. Far beyond this post as well. Thank you and I will continue to update. I've known some sneaky people. So when OOP's husband says he didn't do anything with anyone, I wonder if that also means nobody did anything to him. He could very well define receiving oral as okay because he didn't reciprocate or some BS. Maybe. But my gut has been pretty spot on. So I'm following it on this. This part just made me sad. Your gut has been telling you he was a faithful and honest husband. It has not been pretty spot on beyond this one time where you finally found a part of the truth. She is going to be so devastated when the inevitable affair, either past or future, comes out. This will not end well for Op. It breaks my heart that she's so naively hopeful that things are magically all better now. And, more than anything, I hope she's using protection with him because I don't trust him at all. Oh honey, no. This woman is breathtakingly naive. Girl needs to get STD tested like yesterday. That he isn't attracted to men. But he is attracted to male genitals. This is up there with me telling myself I'm not bi. I just really like looking at lingerie. I hate when those type of posts end with the cheater being so easily forgiven. He's just gonna hide it better next time. I told him that I absolutely believe that he has a porn addiction that has now turned extremely dangerous for us. Spoiler. He does not have a porn addiction. Porn is not the problem here. The problem is that he wants to sexual contact with a man when he is in an exclusive, monogamous marriage with a woman. That's the problem. He wasn't spending money on campsites or buying pornography. He was looking to hook up with strangers. Looking to hire an escort has nothing to do with any kind of pornography addiction. Unless we're defining pornography addiction as anything to do with sex workers, escorts, sex clubs, hookup sites, etc. There's an issue here, but it's not an addiction, and it can't be treated like one. If this story is true, and everything within it also is, it's a marriage headed for divorce. That's fine. She seems to think her reasoning as to why he should be grateful would mean that he actually is. That's not how human beings work. You can't help what you want. He clearly wants some strange. And the longer she lies to herself, the worse it will be for the kids. It seems that she's learning this a little late in life. And it's very sad. I also hope she realizes that she can't just take the kids because he's a bad husband. It doesn't work like that. Her feelings do not matter to the courts. If he cheats, that has nothing to do with parenting, co-parenting, or custody agreements. I'm probably cynical, but I don't think this marriage will last. I hope I'm wrong for OOP's sake. He has already crossed too many lines and shown that he doesn't respect her or the family they have made. But also know this, I will not go down silently. But her husband will. I told him that I absolutely believe that he has a porn addiction that has now turned extremely dangerous for us as couple and family. I've noticed this a lot on this sub. Where did this notion come from that unfaithful people are just addicts?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Heracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.